Hello everybody, welcome back to a new video. It's been a long time since I've done my last one. I think it's been a good 3 or 4 weeks now. I think it was the NEC show, wasn't it? That was awesome, that show. So this show was the Shepton Mallet show. It's in the, I think it's in the southwest of the United Kingdom. It's one of those shows which has been going along for like 25, 30 years now. It's a really cool show. It used to be much bigger, but it's a bit smaller now. But still, it's a decent sized show. It's one that we kind of call home because it's the nearest to us in Bristol, and it's very much a case of it's cheaper than most other shows as well. So this time we just got a table, just one table. My dad had a table and a backup table, and I bought a few things on to sell, but I wasn't really interested in selling at the moment. I'm kind of trying to basically clear out my house with all random toys and stuff I've got, but most of it's on eBay and most of it's on Facebook groups. But I did have a few things to sell. I met a few lovely people there. Some lovely Action Man collectors came up to me and we spoke for a good few minutes, which is nice. Nice to see them. And lots of kids buying, which is actually quite cool. Kids who come around buying Batman stuff, vintage Action Man stuff, like He-Man and other figures and stuff like that. It's really cool. So guys, this is the stuff I picked up, and some of it's stuff I got in deals. What was amazing was I found that actually the prices of some of these things were either super expensive. There's one dealer, for example, who had the most amazing collection of toys, but he wanted twice the price of eBay, and nobody was interested in that sort of prices. Nobody's going to play, because if you go to a show and you bring toys along, you kind of want to make sure that it's the toys that the general public want. You can bring a few niche style toys, but if you're bringing a toy which is like worth, say, £250, and you're putting it on a stall for 350, 400, it's not going to sell. People want to buy bargains. They want to get lower than eBay prices. So don't come to shows thinking you're going to make money if you're asking for more than eBay, because people can literally just buy it. But saying that, there are other dealers there doing amazing deals. Some people had some amazing stuff. I saw a really cool Thundercats graded display set. It's like a kids dress up kit. I think I've got a picture of that. I'll put it on the screen now. That was awesome. That was very cool. But it's one of those things where, how do you price it? Nobody knows really, because it's one of those things which is so rare. But then, is there a demand for it? Who knows? It's one of those awesome, cool pieces that you see, but it's really for a dedicated collector as opposed to somebody who just wants a few Thundercats figures in their collection. But the right buyer will come along one day, and that piece will look amazing in somebody's collection. So yeah, I got onto my first sort of buys of the day. I was walking around trying to find stuff. I found these items and I was a bit unsure the price really. I didn't know what I wanted to pay, but I'll show you what I got from this guy's store and I'll tell you what I paid at the end. So the first things first is this Playmobil set. This is a Playmobil system. I have a little bit of knowledge of Playmobil. I used to have Playmobil when I was a kid, mainly this sort of stuff, and like the Cowboy Fort. I think it's called Fort Bravo, I think. Yeah, the box is pretty decent. It's a bit wear obviously. Looks like it's bought in KDM Toys. Is that in, what's the Dutch mark? Maybe Germany. I imagine this will probably go back to Germany. There's a lot of German collectors who collect Playmobil. Very cool. I haven't checked if it's complete, but it's in a bag. I think it's going to be mostly complete. If not, it'd be pretty easy to find all the pieces. But this is the kind of thing that you have to. I will find somebody who will want this, and they'll pay a good price. I think I can get 40 quid for this all day long. So that is really cool. Early Playmobil stuff is really collectible, guys. It's hard to come across, but most of the time when you do come across it boxed, you can get it quite cheap, and you can actually make a bit of money on it. I'm not hoping to make too much money on this, but just enough to cover my costs. And in the same store, I got this awesome massive Playmobil. Not Playmobil. What's it called? Carlton Thunderbirds Vivid Images Thunderbird 1. I haven't really checked it. I checked to see if the Thunderbird was in there, but a lot of it was still tied to it's still tied to the packaging, which is really cool. But yeah, this is a really cool Thunderbird. It kind of opens up like this. Now, I had something similar. I had Thunderbirds 2 when I was a kid, and it did not. I think it was from a previous earlier line. And there should be a figure in here, but he's missing by the looks of it. Oh no, there's his chair. Is he in here? So there's the chair. I think the figure is missing, but it's not end of the world. The battery compartment there is missing as well. There is some other stuff in the boxes. So if he is missing the figure, it's not the end of the world. I can still sell that, which is quite cool. I love Thunderbirds 1. If not, I'll just keep it in my collection. And to go with that, we got a box Thunderbirds 3. The boxes are pretty decent. They still got their inner cards, which is really cool. I need to probably look into them and see what's in there. There you go, there's Thunderbirds 3 with its inner card. It's gone a bit grey, as you can tell. I wonder if the figure is in there. It's not in there. So it should be in here. There's the it's missing the figure again. Still not the end of the world if it's missing the figures. I think people display these for the actual models themselves. These are quite cool. When I was a kid, I said I had Thunderbirds 2. It came from an earlier line where you could put the Matchbox figures in. And I always wanted Thunderbirds 1 and Thunderbirds 3, but I never seemed to find them. I think they didn't even make Thunderbirds 3. But yeah, Thunderbird 3 is awesome. I love this rocket. So guys, I paid for 2 boxes of those and the Playmobil. I paid £30, which I think is pretty decent. I think I can put these Thunderbirds rockets, these things out for 25 quid each. I think I can get about £40 on the Playmobil. So I made myself a little bit of money to put towards the toy fund. So next up, I found this awesome remote control Dalek, which I'll put a picture up now. This, guess the price again, guys. So that Dalek and this, which is the Joe 90 Special Agent Kit. This Special Agent Kit was £1. I could not believe it. £1. It's got a bit of wear. It's got a bit of wear. It's got a bit of denting. It's a bit dusty, but £1. I just couldn't believe it. I remember seeing people ask like 40-50 quid for these. They're not worth that. They're worth about 12 quid. But still, £1. I couldn't say no to having that. And the best thing about it was, even though that was £1, I also got this Schuko. It's a Porsche, actually. I'll show you what it looks like. It's beautiful. I'm not really a diecast fan. I just collect what I like, really. But this was £10, and the key is in there, which winds it up, which is pretty cool. It comes with the instruction manual, which tells you how it should look and everything. And it also, this is the card. You put the key in there, and you twist it obviously in it, and it goes around. Really cool. I think it looks beautiful. It's probably about 20 years old. It's not from the 60s or 70s or 80s or 50s or whatever it is. It's got a bit of wear down the tyres, but it looks really cool. I've had these sort of cars in before, and they sold pretty well. I think I buy them for about £25, £30 instead of like 60. I haven't had this one before, so I don't know how much it's going to be really worth. But I think I can get £25 for it. And guys, I paid £10 for that. So including the Dalek, which I paid £20 for, which is an absolute bargain. All these 3 things here cost £31. I think I can get about £12 for this thing. I think I can get about 25 plus for this. I think I can get about £50 for that Dalek. So I've kind of like doubled my money, more money in the pot, more money to buy more toys. So let's go on to some military stuff I bought. I collect bolt action, Warlord games, miniature figures. So these are like 28mm, so they're quite small. They're a bit smaller than an Airfix figure. And what you do is you basically you paint them up, and then you can actually play a game with them, which is like a war game where you play on a tabletop. You can get tanks, you can get scenery, you can get every military team you can think of, and they vary in price. Sometimes they're really super cheap and sometimes they're really expensive. I always find models are very cheap anyway. I mean, if you can buy a model kit, like I think the ones which come with the British infantry or the American infantry, which I own, they're like £23 and you get like 27 models. And I think for 27 for that price, it's so cheap. You just have hours of fun doing that. So that was only like, I think I paid £6. I think I paid £5 for that actually. Those are metal ones, which are really cool. And by sheer luck, I walked to another store and I found the actual paints that they kind of recommend, Wargame Paint series stuff. All this is for like the what's it called? The British, not the Americans, but they kind of had similar sort of like paint schemes anyway. I got some British to paint up, which I haven't done yet. So for £5, that was pretty cool to get some modelling stuff. And then finally, I've got 2 lots to go, I think. So this is a bit ironic, really. There was a chap there who sold like trains and planes and models and die-cast cars and stuff. And I went out to his store and I noticed on the store he had a tray of Action Man pieces. Now, I don't know if you guys are aware, but I've stopped collecting Action Man stuff now. Not 100% stopped, but I'm not buying up anything for my personal collection anymore. I'm still going to sell stuff, still going to buy and sell. If I find something really old or obscure, I'm obviously going to put it in my collection. But my problem is I got to the point where I kind of had everything loose, apart from a few footballers and apart from a few odd pieces. My collection was pretty much complete, and I got to the point where I was like, I don't really want to have all this stuff in my house anymore. It takes up a whole room which I need to dedicate to something else right now. So I decided to sell a lot of my stuff. I kept all my 60s, I kept all my early 70s, I kept all my really weird, cool display signs, but I've sold a lot of my carded uniforms because I haven't got the space, guys. But I am still buying up stuff. When I saw these 2 trays of bits, there's one tray which is full of boots and helmets and hats, another one filled with clothes. And it said free, I think it was free for a tenner on the clothes, and then the hats were like £3, £4 each. And so I wouldn't usually bought that sort of stuff because most stuff is so cheap anyway. You can find most Action Man stuff for super cheap, but it's all the really hard to find stuff, the rare bits that go for a lot of money. And I basically looked at the tray and I thought, do you know what, this tray is quite good. I poured out loads of stuff. I poured out about £60-70 worth of stuff, as in that's the kind of value it was if you were to resell it or trade it, sort of thing. And I said to the guy, do you know what, I'm going to ask him if I can make a deal with him. If it's worth 60, 70, I'll see if I can pay £50 for the tray, sort of thing. Starts to tell him this, and he instantly gets really mad at me. No deals. Why are people all trying to rip me off? No deals. You just pay the price. And I was a bit like, okay, that's really strange, because usually if you call yourself a dealer, it's about making deals. And whilst I understand, I didn't even give him the price I wanted to pay him. I said to him, I'll pay up for it. I'll pay a good price for it. It's because when you buy stuff that's in a job lot, it's not about getting it cheaper because you're buying more. It's more about the time it takes to actually list and sell it. It takes ages to sell Action Man stuff. You can spend all day, 2-3 hours listing stuff on eBay or on Facebook groups or sending pictures to your friends, and you might take you months to sell it all. So this guy was just like, no. And I said to him, look, I'll pay a lot of money. No. And I said to him, your pricing some of this stuff up was so high, and I just thought, I'm not going to even bother telling him that. But the thing is, what really upsets me, annoys me quite a lot, is I don't mind if people have items which they paid a lot of money for and they want to get their money back on it. I don't mind if people have people want to make a certain profit, that's fine, I get it. But like when it comes to me, for example, I'll happily do deals on all my stuff, happily, because you need to get it moving, and you need to factor that in when you're dealing stuff, because people are not going to buy your stuff. And these sort of people are the type of old dealers who sit around at shows for years not selling stuff because they do it because they love it, they like it, it's something to do, I get it. But if it's just something to do, it gets boring and it gets stale. And this is a situation I want to basically make it so that the deals are flowing, sort of thing. But this chap, I've helped him out in the past. That's what makes it a bit sad. He's asked me to price up stuff for him, so I've given him all the prices, I've given him details and stuff, I've written stuff down for him and helped him out, so he knows what to buy and what to sell. And then it just makes it a bit sad when somebody can't do a deal. I mean, I was going to pay money. I would have paid, a good amount of money for that stuff. I wasn't going to rip him off at all. But he didn't want to do it. He didn't want to make any notes of it. So what I did was I just cherry picked all the best stuff what I thought was in his lot, and I'm just going to resell it at a bit of a profit, just so I can buy more stuff as always. But I just like, it feels a bit sad. I could have got a good deal. I could have, he could have got a good deal, but he wasn't interested. And I think at the end of the day, if you don't make deals, you're not selling stuff, you're not going to be around for much longer. Anyway, it's my negativity, sorry, but let's have a look at some cool stuff I picked up. So one in that little lot was this German tunic. This is from the Panzer Captain. It's missing that bit there, which goes here, I think, and I'm missing the eagle goes here, but these two are always missing. I think I paid £3 for this, so yeah, not bad, £3. And I found some trousers. I'm not sure these are the right ones. I think they have to have white elastic at the bottom, but I looked and I couldn't find any. These might be right, but they kind of match, so I'll put that in the job lot and I'll sell that as a lot. Hussar cap, I've had this a few times. I paid £3 for this, which is, I think, is a bit too much. I shouldn't have paid that much for it really. But the black lip basically always goes really sticky because of the paint. It's really odd. The Panzer Captain cap, that was alright. That was £4, so it's not too bad. Most of the stuff, guys, is going to go back into my either going to be sold on eBay or on Facebook, or it's going to go back into my big tub of Action Man stuff that I take to shows, and I'll sell it at pretty much the same price. And then this cap, which has got the metal thing on, that was £4 as well. This beret can go for quite a lot of money, so yeah, fingers crossed I get a bit of money back on that. So that was it in terms of from that chap. And then I walked around and met this other guy who I've seen at quite a lot of shows, and he's such an awesome guy. He has a lot of really cool like house clearance stuff. He just buys everything. I think he gets loads of toy soldiers, loads of bits of like just really cool nostalgia pieces. But he had a load of Action Man stuff, and he made me a great deal on it. Really, really cool. I paid £80 for all you're going to see now. So this was this is the Mountaineer set from the late 60s, early 70s. Has the staff, it's got a bit of chipping, I think, but it looks alright. Has the moleskin trousers, the socks, which are quite nice, and the jacket and stuff. I need to double check to make sure what's 40th and what's not. I think most of this looks vintage. The guy didn't say anything was 40th, so I think we're going to do all right there. Next up is the Army Major outfit. Sorry, not the Army Major. The Royal, I think it's the Royal MP, what it's called. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, or it could be the they're very close in colour. They did different colorations, but yeah, it comes with the putties, which are quite hard to find. It comes with an SLR, which is not the correct SLR. But it's got a white strap. That goes with this one. It's the Grenadier Guards. I need to double check this one as well, make sure everything's there, but it looks quite good. Has the belt and the scabbard, which is quite cool. I think it should be white though, so I need to double check that as well. And then finally, the Army Major with what I think is the Sam Brown belt. I need to double check and have a look at it and pull it out. But that was £80, guys. Originally, I think they were asking about 150, but they had two other sets of stuff. One with a load of rifles and one with a load of cool bits from the 60s, like little individual bits, including the radio, which comes with the armoured car commander. But it was missing the tripod. The tripod's the bit where the money is, so I would have happily bought that if it had the tripod, but it didn't. I think I've done alright. I think £80 is about right for these sort of stuff. I could make a little bit of profit on it. I'm going to put some of this in my toy box. Some of it's going to go in my actual own collection. I'm going to swap out some pieces that are in poor condition, and then yeah, because this is all my sort of period. I'm collecting up to about 75 now. I'm not after 1975. I'm kind of given up, apart from a few odd things like the Africa Core. I love those, but yeah. That's going to be a bit of fun to play with today. I'm going to get some of those listed on eBay. Some of it is going to be swapped out. Some of it's going to be put in my boxes. It's just nice bits to have, really. It's quite a lot of fun, really. And I'm going to obviously look at my own collection and see what I can swap out. But yeah, chuffed with that. So I don't know how much it was altogether, guys. Maybe, 180 quid I think I paid. I think I got some cool pieces. A lot of money to put down, I suppose. But I think I can get like money for that. I can get money for the Playmobil set. The Thunderbird sets might be a bit tricky to sell. The Dalek's going to be quite easy to sell, I think. The Action Man stuff could be easy-ish to sell, but will take a long time. It could take me 6 months to sell all that stuff. But yeah, lots of fun stuff to play with. But yeah, guys, I really appreciate all your likes and your comments, and so for subscribing. The channel's obviously got a bit quiet recently. I think it's mainly due to the fact that COVID's over now and I don't have much time to like do stuff because I'm back to work. But there's also the whole thing of like having to go to all the shows, which is really cool to go to, but there's obviously they're all around the country, aren't they? It does take a lot of time to get to them. But now, yeah, glad the NEC show in the future is not going to be closed down. And I absolutely love these Shepton Mallet shows. Guys, if you're in the southwest, go to these shows. The Bulldog Fairs, so we put some on. The shows in Shepton Mallet, Malvern, Exeter. I think there's one in somewhere else as well. I can't remember. The shows in Bristol, the shows in Cardiff, the shows in Birmingham, London. Go and find all these shows, guys, because there's so much toys out there to be bought and bought at quite cheap prices. So, you know, don't go to these fairs. If you go to these fairs, then it becomes easier for dealers to start selling stuff and start buying more stuff. And it means that more stuff gets into fans and collectors' hands. That's what we want. We want collectors to get the stuff they want. And it only works if you all go out and start playing with each other, which makes it sound quite fun. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. Please like and subscribe. And as always, stay safe and happy hunting.